Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to deploy a custom HTTPD application in a Minikube Kubernetes cluster. Before we dive into the steps, let's ensure we have everything set up on our local machine. We need three essential tools. Number one, Docker. Number two, kubectl. Number three, Minikube. Let's check that all three are working by verifying their versions. Make sure all of these commands return a version number without any errors. Next, we want to ensure that Docker can run without needing sudo. This is important for convenience. If it is not running without sudo, we have to use the command sudo usermod hyphen a capital G docker $user. This command adds your user to the Docker group. After running this command, you will need to log out and log back in for the changes to take effect. Alternatively, you can run uh, new group NEWGRP Docker to get immediate access of Docker without using sudo command. Now let's start the Minikube cluster and set our Docker environment to use Minikube Docker daemon. Minikube cluster is started. We'll use the command eval dollar uh, this command uh, set our Docker environment to use Minikube Docker daemon. Now we create a custom HTTPD image. So I will create a directory. I change to my HTTP. There I'll create an index file. This is a sample index file. Let's save this. Now I will create a Docker file which is having uh, two commands, two lines of code. The first line from HTTPD latest, it tells the Docker to use the latest HTTPD image as a base for our custom image. The second command, second line copies our index.html file into the appropriate directory of HTTPD server. Let's save this. Now I will build this image with Docker build command. So to deploy this image on the Minikube Kubernetes cluster, we have to create a YAML file, deployment YAML file. So here you can check this API version specifies the Kubernetes API version. This kind defines the type of object. In this case, it is a deployment. Metadata contains the metadata about deployment, including its name, and spec defines the desired state of the deployment. Like here, replicas mentioned. It is a number one replica I mentioned. I can change it to any number, maybe 2 or 3. I'll demonstrate in next steps. Selector defines a label to identify the pod belonging to this deployment. Template defines the template for the pod, including container specification. And this is very important. This image pull policy should be never for local image. Otherwise, it will pull the image from Docker Hub containers, container repositories. So in order to use the local image, local custom image, we have to use image pull policy should be never. I'll save this image. Now I'll deploy this image on this YAML file using kubectl apply -f YAML. It is deployed. Now I will expose this deployment with type this node port. I'll use the command kubectl. This command exposes our deployment with the node port service type, allowing external traffic to reach our application on port number 80. Next, we need to get the URL to access our service. To get that URL, the command is minikube service deployment name and --URL. Now you get the URL. You can access this URL on your browser. You can see whatever custom message is there, it is displayed on this URL. Now you can check the number of pods. To check the number of pods running, use the command kubectl get pods. As per as we mentioned, the replica set is 1. It is running. One set is running. If you want to scale up the replicas using the command kubectl scale command, now you can check. I have scaled up with 5 replicas. If you check the get pods, you can see 5 replicas are running. 5 pods are running with you can see the number of pods has been increased. If I want to change the replicas with 2, you can change the scale down. Check, there are only 2 replicas running. If I want to delete any pod, I'll use the command kubectl delete pod and the pod name. I'm deleting this pod. Kubernetes will automatically recreate this pod after deletion. We can check. I'm deleting this. It is deleted. If you check get pods, it automatically recreated in 5 seconds. You can check 5 seconds. Earlier it was 2 minutes 26 seconds. You'll see that new pod has been created automatically to replace the one we deleted. Now, finally, let us clean up by deleting our service and deployment. To delete the service, use the command kubectl delete service my httpd deployment deleted. Similarly, you can delete deployment by using the command kubectl delete deployment ht deployment deleted. Now, if you try to check the service, the site, if you refresh it, it is showing the site can't be reached. And that's it today. Uh, um, we learned how to deploy a custom HTTP application in a Minikube Kubernetes cluster. We created a custom image, deployed it, scaled it, and even simulated pod failures. Thank you for watching it. See you next time.